Currently, Disney's Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers are celebrating 25 years. That's right, 25 years. Originally, they began in 1988, but it can really hit the scene in 1989. More importantly, in the fall. 1988 was basically when they were basically given to us fans as a sneak peek, if you will. They were given to us as a sneak peek of what was to come in later that year. We got more of a peek in 1989, thus making 1988 and 1989 all the way up to 1990 the first full year. So in a sense, 88 and 89 combined, along with 2013 and 2014, which is now 2014, combined altogether is overall the celebration of 25 years. So in celebration of that, I thought I'd give you guys my top 10 episodes. In my opinion, the top 10 best Rescue Ranger episodes. Now, I may have talked about this before, and if I have, I apologize. But if not, for you guys, the Rescue Ranger fans out there that, like me, grew up on this show from 1988 or 89 in some instances till now, these are the top 10. Now, here is the DVD that I created back in 2005. That's right, almost 9 years ago, in March of this year. 9 years ago in March of this year, it would have been 9 years ago that I created the top 10 episode DVD, what I consider the best of Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. The best. And this was something that I continued on all the way up to April 1st, 2005. From April 1st, 2005, I completed it. So from March 24th, 2005 to April 1st, 2005, going on now almost 9 years since I made this. Now you might ask yourself, well, why are you using this? Why are you talking about this? Well, because this here, ladies and gentlemen, is the top 10 episodes that I consider are the best out of the Rescue Ranger series. My personal opinion, the top 10. And of course, we start off with one of the first episodes ever. In fact, we start off with the first episode ever, Calories Not Included. Now, you might ask yourself, well, why? Why is that in the top 10? Well, first of all, it's the pilot episode. It gave us the introduction to the Rescue Rangers. And two, it gave us an idea who the characters were and what their mission was about. And it's good. And, of course, it gave you a kind of a hint and indication that there's a bit of an attraction between Chip and Gadget and Dale and Gadget. And obviously, where Disney was hinting at where they might go if a movie was ever to have been made. That is why Calories Not Included is on there. Following that is Adventures in Squirrel Sitting at number 9. Now, you might say it should be a little higher, and you're probably right. In other people's opinion, it should be. But Adventures in Squirrel Sitting is in the top 10 because, again, it's one of the first episodes ever made, and it's the first episode to introduce a new character outside of the Rescue Rangers. An ally, if you will, in Tammy and her sister, but mostly Tammy. And established and hinted at the fact that perhaps, there might be something there between, that perhaps Chip might have some kind of a love interest outside of the team. And also, it provided us with the fact that just like Chip and Dale are kind of gaga over Gadget, there are certain females that when they encounter, that could be gaga over them. Very good episode 2. Then here we have the Carpet Snaggers. Very good episode. Very funny, very unique. And it's one of the first times that we see, just for a brief moment, just for maybe a couple of minutes, 5 minutes maybe at most, we see Dale and Gadget teamed up. If inadvertently, we see Dale and Gadget teamed up. We see that, and it's also through that team up we see that another hint thrown the way of Dale and Gadget and any D&G shippers that Disney probably at that time was planning and hinting at a Dale and Gadget relationship. That is why Copper Snake is on there, because it's the first time we see Dale and Gadget get teamed together. If inadvertently, it's another episode that hints at possibly who Disney wanted to probably place with Gadget, and vice versa. And also you can't forget Gadget having that very stylish hairdo when she tries to use her invention. Next up, the case of the Cola Cold. What more can you say about this episode besides it introduces Gadget's Rambo side, or Gadget's real kick-ass side? I mean, there's one thing we find out in this episode: you do not want to mess with this girl's inventions. She will kick your ass. She will go. I think as the announcer once said on the Disney Afternoon, and I remember this. I don't know why I remember this as clear as day, but I remember when they previewed this at the end of the Disney Afternoon, they said she becomes Ramboette, and she does. There's no denying that. But it's really cool, really unique episode. It does give us some character development for Gadget, where she's questioning whether or not she should be a rescue ranger or should she be inventing. But besides that, and her Ramboette kick-ass scenes, definitely an episode worth watching and definitely deserving to be on the top 10 list in my opinion. Up next we have Mind Your T's and Q's. Mind Your T's and Q's. What more can you say? It's a good episode. It focuses on how bad Monterey's addiction to cheese can get, and possibly what could happen if he lets that get in the way of his duty as a rescue ranger, and in the way of protecting his friends. But also, it's the second time we see the rescue rangers, more so this time Chip, Dale, and Gadget, actually dress up in disguises. And it's the second time we see Gadget in the red dress and red high heels, except she does not have the wig. She does have lipstick, she does have eyeshadow, she does have a bracelet, and I think a necklace bracelet, but that's about it. She doesn't have the wig or anything like that, but it is the second time we see her in the red dress. Good episode, and second time we see the rescue rangers have to wear disguises to solve the case, and more so the second time we see Gadget in the red dress. Next up, Dirty Rotten Diapers. What more can you say about that one? Dirty Rotten Diapers. I like the premise of this, of the fact that the story premise is this episode is basically more based around comedic timing. Based more around comedic timing. Here you have Gadget basically sick and tired of the violence that the Rangers have to display in solving crime. So she wants to come up with a more kinder, gentler method. And of course, Chip goes along with it, only because he wants to probably get close to Gadget. And we pretty much see that already. So, it's a funny episode through and through, because you see the Rangers doing everything they can to solve crimes from the smallest, by working their way up from the smallest to the biggest, to try to solve crimes and mysteries without resulting to violence. But of course, in their attempts to do this, it finally does backfire on them on one of the biggest cases that they have. And this causes Gadget to finally because even after it's revealed that the baby they're trying to seemingly protect is actually a gangster in disguise, and the adoption agency he's always coming from is a scam, is a fraud, it's finally enough, after enough physical abuse that they get from being tossed in the dishwasher, being tossed in the dishwasher, having vegetables thrown at them and stuff like that. It's finally enough for Gadget to just say, screw this crap, we're going back to violence. You know, it's like she finally says, screw this crap, we're going extreme. And the line that Chip uses in this episode is really, really cool, because he says, Because when he's telling everybody, get everything prepared, everything set up to go, because we're going after those crooks again, right? And he tells Dale to get Dale and Zipper to get some strong to get some strong twine and trig, right? I mean, some strong twine and string, right? Some strong, strong twine and string. And the line he says here to Dale, after Dale says, what? With the tie, because Dale's asking, why? Why do we need it? To tie up the baby? Chip's reaction to it really makes my day, because this basically showcases Gadget, and they show the facial expression, the anger that she has. And again, this makes the episode all worthwhile in watching. Chip tells Dale, no. Because when he's asking him why do you want the string for? The twine and the string, what, to tie down the baby? And Chip's like, no, to tie down Gadget. I think she blew a gasket. And again, and then you see how Gadget's reacting throughout the rest of the episode. She just wants to get her hands on this guy. And then finally when Chip gets thropped, if you will, in a bear rug, as he's trying to escape from the baby, he says, finally, when he says, enough, Mr. Nice Guy, let's do it Gadget's way, the first thing she says, as soon as Monterey asks her, well, what do you think? What do you want to do, Gadget? And she's basically like, thrash the brat! And that to me is one of the best lines in the episode. And again, this is just the third act makes it worthwhile. I mean, the episode overall is good, but the third act makes it worthwhile. There's no doubt. Flying the ointment. What more can you say about this except mutant rangers? Dale's head switches over to Gadget's body switches over to Dale's body. What more can you say? I mean, especially the line after that happens where Dale's like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I've always wanted to be close to Gadget, but not this close. And then Gadget's like, keep the hands off the body. And again, even through that, you think, honestly, even through that, you would think, is Disney trying to hint at something? Are they trying to hint at a Dale and Gadget relationship, possibly? One never knows. But still, worthwhile, especially for that final act. Then we have good times, bad times. Keyword as to why it's good, just like with Adventures in Squirrel Setting, introduces a new ally to the Rangers, and just like with Tammy, introduces a new love interest outside of the Rangers, this time for Dale in Foxglove Bat, who has gone on to basically cult status, if you will, as a fan favorite among the Ranger fans. And, believe it or not, like Tammy, made a return in the Rescue Ranger Boom Studio comics. So yeah, like Tammy, made a return in the Boom Studio comics of the Rescue Rangers. That's how popular she was, because she was used more so than Tammy was in that. Tammy made a return like in the final parts of the comics. That shows you how popular she was, because she was basically almost like a regular team member. But what more can you say besides that? Besides that premise? I mean, just good episode, good introduction to what became a very popular fan favorite character among the fans, and popular love interest for Dale. And of course, in a sense, kind of a good way to throw off the D&G hints, if you will. And then finally we have at number one, my personal opinion, number one of my personal top 10, of my top 10 Rescue Ranger, of the top 10 Rescue Ranger episodes, in my opinion, number one, Double O Chipmunk. What more can you say about this one? What more can you say about Double O Chipmunk? Just the name should give you reason enough to want to watch it. And if you need more reason, here it is. Dale's inventive side, Dale's brainy side, his inventive side finally comes out. He takes a normal suit, ladies and gentlemen, a normal tuxedo suit of his, and equips it like a real spy. It makes it into a real damn spy suit. And if this episode isn't any stronger indication to a D and G relationship, I do not know what is. Because guess what? Because he's doing this, he rakes up the other Rangers. They see what he's doing. He's showing off what his suit can do. And who's the most impressed by it? Gadget. Who's willing to help him live out his dream? Gadget. Who's going as far as to dress herself up for the first time in the red dress, thick lipstick, thick eyeshadow, mascara, eyeshadow, mascara, white wig, tan her, I guess, kind of tan her skin a little bit, kind of tan her or makeup, kind of tan or put makeup on her skin or whatever. Who's willing to go that far and even to convince Chip and Monterey to act along with her? Gadget. Who kisses Dale, even if it's part of the act, on the lips when she didn't have to? Gadget. Again, what more can you say about this episode besides it finally shows Dale's inventiveness? It's a strong episode that hints at Dale and Gadget relationship. And it shows there's more to certain characters than meets the eye. And that's all I'm going to say. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry about that, folks. I just got a call. My family member who I live with is going to be a little delayed getting home because of an oil spill on the Altamar. But anyway, like I said, what more can be said about this episode besides the strong hints, that this being the strongest episode that hints at a Dale and Gadget relationship. Dale's inventive side coming out. Gadget's willingness to help him. I mean, what more can be said about this? I mean, I look at this as a first-time episode because it's the first time we see Dale's inventive side. It's the first time we see Gadget actually outside of her overalls, her traditional outfit, and wearing a dress, wearing high heels, wearing makeup. I mean, oh my God. I mean, when I first saw this episode, I was blown away. It instantly became a favorite. It instantly became a favorite of mine, and it's been a favorite of mine since day one. And when Volume 2 of Rescue Rangers DVD, the DVD set of Rescue Rangers Volume 2 came out, and I saw that Double O Chipmunk was going to be on it, I knew I had to get it. Because I want to see that episode. I want to have as many copies of this episode as possible because it's that good. It's that good, and it's historic, in my opinion. It's historic in Rescue Ranger fandom because it's an episode full of first. So, that, even with the interruption there, even with the phone interruption there, that, ladies and gentlemen, is my top 10, or in my personal opinion, the top 10 Rescue Ranger episodes of the series. So, let me know what your top 10 is. Do you agree with my list here? Or do you got your own list of Rescue Ranger episodes that you feel are better than the ones I have talked about here? Which ones do you think are better? Or do you agree with my list? Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. And thank you all for watching. God bless and take care. And sorry for the interruption.